for fuck's sake, lads and lasses, what an absolute bunch of top four bottlers we are. Oh, hey everyone, it's the Flying Pig here. If you're joining me, thanks for tuning in. United have just lost 2-0 to the arseholes at the Emirates in the Premier League to end United's unbeaten run that stretches all the way back to October. 25 games in a row that United have not lost, and that's all gone now. Arsenal in the end, the team to take that away from those absolute gooner pricks. They were lucky in the end as well, because that Xhaka goal was just a complete calamity. Maybe if Ander Herrera just stood up and taken it in the face, then we wouldn't have had that unfortunate freaking deflection. But still, that was a fortunate goal for them to deflect in over past David De Gea. But then United just totally switched off. They got the second goal. That killed the game. We were absolutely gastastic in our second half. Couldn't get back into it. Very disappointed indeed with United's performance in the second half. First half, we actually did quite well. We've defended high up, congested that midfield, made it tricky for them, limited their chances, had a couple of chances ourselves. In an away game at the Emirates, there was a decent first half performance. But second half performance, it was shit. And, after that first goal, the heads went down and it was just a lapse in concentration killed the game for us. Absolutely piss poor. But the Gooners were lucky today. I'm telling you, the Gooners were lucky. If you're joining me, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you chuck a like on this video. Sorry for it being a little bit late. I've been having some technical difficulties. But here I am now to talk about that absolute catastrophe. It's totally ruined United's chances for getting top four now in the Premier League. You saw those absolute Merseyside bottle jobs. Liverpool bottle it early on and drop a couple of points. Well, what do United do? We have to go and we have to go one better and we have to bottle it even harder, don't we? The Manchester Bottling Company strikes again. We're doing good business. It's absolutely piss poor from the lads today. But I think the case is Jose's put all his eggs in the Europa League basket. I was surprised about the sort of defence today. I know we've got injury problems. Chris Smalling, Phil Jones, they were absolutely gashtastic, mistake-laden, very disappointing. That Twanzebe started the game, which just goes to show you maybe what the emphasis is on the Europa League, the Premier League at the moment. But even so, he was the better of the defenders out there today. He's like 19 or whatever he is. He's showing those senior players how to do it. They were an embarrassment. Smalling and Jones, they were an absolute embarrassment. Not up to the level of Manchester United, I don't think. But, they've not played a lot recently, but they were absolutely gashtastic. At the back today for United, I have to say. Just bitterly disappointed that the hunt for top four is over. When it's in our hands, it's like we've got it in our hands again now after Liverpool bottling it. It's back in our hands now. Tough games coming up, of course, Arsenal, Spurs, these are tough games, but it's back in our hands. But the moment we get an opportunity to climb anywhere up the league or put ourselves in a position where we can get up the league and challenge for those top four spaces, we just go and bottle it. David Moyes style. That's what we do, and it's just very frustrating. It's very frustrating. We're in the Europa League semi-final, of course. We're leading 1-0 from the first leg. We can go and we can get to the final, no doubt about it. We've got the Old Trafford tie. But if we don't beat Ajax in the final, or even get through Celta Vigo to get to the final, then this season's an absolute calamity. And it would have been only our fault because we're not decisive enough, not good enough in terms of converting chances in front of goal. We did have a few chances today, couldn't convert them, very disappointing. And that's been the story of our season. Giving away silly results when we could easily go on and win the games. I'm not saying this is an easy game, but this is just textbook Manchester United. We're coming up against Arsenal. We're looking shitter than ever at the moment. They are. Wenger, is he staying? Is he going? Nobody knows. Are they still playing for the manager? Doesn't look like they're going to get top four, so what are they playing for now? We still can't freaking beat those absolute bunch of tossers. They've beaten us 2-0, end of the unbeaten run that stretches all the way back to October. That is piss poor. So we've just got to win the Europa League this year. There's no excuses now. If Jose doesn't win the Europa League, he's had too many opportunities now in the league to get us top four, and he keeps spurning them every single opportunity. Whatever which way you look at it, he's the man in charge. We didn't react well after going a goal down, and we didn't get back into it. Didn't have an answer for Arsenal today, so that was very disappointing. But yeah, the emphasis is now on the Europa League. Alex Rincon in the house giving me a cheeky little super chat there. You absolute legend. I'm getting the sun in my eyes now. I'm being blinded on top of it all. But you're an absolute legend, Alex Rincon, for sending that in. The message has already disappeared, so I'm not sure what you said, pal. I do apologise. But yeah, very deflated after that performance because I was expecting a much better result. Even a draw wouldn't have been the end of the world with what happened to Liverpool today. But now we are stranded. It's looking likely that we're not going to get top four. We've just got to win the Europa League. And now those smug Gooner bastards are back in the chase as well. That's the thing. They are back in the chase now for those top four spots. it's looking unlikely, of course, that they could do that. But Alex Rincon says, all about Europa. Congrats to Arsenal for winning the Wenger in Cup. Yeah, it's very true. Arsenal fans will be loving Wenger again now today, won't they? You know, very fickle, I believe. They'll be thinking, oh, he's not so bad after all this bloke, because he just ended United's unbeaten run, got us back in the top four contention. If he gets us top four, let's keep him. Bunch of melters. But anyway, yeah, thank you very much for that, Alex. Top lad, top subscriber. Everyone who's commenting here and getting your thoughts and opinions in, you're a bunch of legends. I'll try to answer as many as I can as this video goes along, but thank you very much for the continued support on the channel. Yeah, you know, United's best chance of getting into the Champions League next year was always going to be the Europa League, you know, from a couple of weeks ago, really. The way things were shaping up, it was always going to be the Europa League. So nothing's really changed. If we win the Europa League, we can get top four. Or, sorry, not get top four. If we win the Europa League, we can get qualification for the Champions League, which is, you know, same as getting top four there. So it's not the end of the world. We have to just go on and win the Europa League. Arsene Wenger will be absolutely over the moon about that. May have given him some more time in the job. May have convinced him to stay. He can still get top four now. Who knows what's going to happen? So there's a big battle going on at the top of the league now for those top four spaces. Teams are bottling it left, right and centre. Just when you think Liverpool have bottled it really bad, United, we go and out-bottle Liverpool big time. What an absolute calamity of a result. So there you go. Arsenal have sort of given themselves a kick up the arse now. They'll be back up there thinking they can maybe snatch a top four spot. Liverpool, they've got bottle job written all over them. You know they're going to fuck something up between now and the end of the season. So United could still get top four. It's out of our hands, but I'm expecting other teams to slip up as well between now and the end of the season. It has not been a very sort of, you know, consistent effort from any of these sides who are lingering around those few places to actually get top four. Everyone's stumbling. Everyone's having mares and losing certain games that you're expecting them to win. So anything can happen between now and the end of the season in terms of getting those top four spaces. But yeah, absolutely being blinded by the sun here. So apologies for that and my squinting face. But yeah, top four is officially gone, I think, for Manchester United. We've still got an outside chance, but, you know, Liverpool, it's likely that they'll get it. Man City, it's likely that they'll get it. And, of course, Tottenham and Chelsea getting the other two spots. So I think United have thrown away top four today, but we are still in the hunt for the Europa League. But I'm just pissed off that it's actually Arsenal, the Gooners, who are melted at the moment, who has taken away our unbeaten run that stretched all the way back to October. 25 league games. That's quite an unbelievable run for United. But unfortunately, it's come to an end today. Going to read some of the comments here and, you know, talk to you guys and give you my opinion on any of your thoughts and comments that you say. Goulet Issa says Anthony Martial was terrible. Well, he did get through on goal a couple of times today. He had one good opportunity where Petr made a good save at his near post. But other than that, you know, I wasn't blown away by his performance. He's a very hit and miss player. I've said this many times before. You know, he is a good player on his day. He's as good as Eden Hazard on his day. But when do you catch him on his day? Maybe 30% of the time, whenever he's really up for it. He's a very inconsistent player when it comes to performing at the top level, you know, week in, week out. Ezrin says we need new blood at the back. I totally agree. I think we need to bring in a top quality centre-back in this summer. I'm not sure about the likes of Chris Smalling, Phil Jones. Maybe Phil Jones is quite handy to have because he's slightly more versatile. You don't want to get rid of all of your English players as well. These are good players. They're just not top quality players. You know, they're decent squad players. But to come in against teams like Arsenal and perform in the big games, I don't think they're up to it. I don't think they're good enough. And I think maybe one of those players should be moved on. And we should bring in a top quality centre-back to partner Eric Bailly for next season. That would be the ideal situation. You know, we've got to make a couple of key signings in the summer. We really do. We've got to sign a top quality winger because I think we're lacking in that department, and we've got a striker or two to come in because Zlatan's looking likely that he's not going to be here next season. We've still got Rashford, of course, but he's young. We need another top quality striker to come in. So there's going to be some movements in the summer, and as long as we've got Europa League, or we win the Europa League and we've got Champions League football next season, as long as all that falls into place, then there's no reason we can't attract all the top talents in the world as long as we've got Champions League football to offer them. We are United, you know, we can afford the players players. We've got the spending power and the ability to pay high wages if we need to bring in the very, very best players. And we've also got that tradition and just that club history and that draw. We are pretty much the biggest club in England. A couple of years ago I said we are the biggest club in England, but right now it's only really our history and tradition that's saying that, and our commercial success. But what we're doing out there on the pitch is not quite good enough. But still, I would say, listen, Jose Mourinho's first season in charge, and he's done a pretty decent job, hasn't he? It's not like he's not got us in contention for the Champions League. We're still up in and around there. We may finish in the top 4 places. It's looking unlikely now. But we are in the Europa League final effectively if we get past Celta Vigo, but we're leading 1-up. From the first leg, of course. So it's looking likely. Ajax is not a gimme game. But if he does win the Europa League final and we finish 5th and we win 2 trophies this season and the Charity Shield, we complete the Mickey Mouse treble effectively. If we do that, then it's actually a really good season from Jose Mourinho. Forget about these stutters that we've had in the league. If we'd have won a lot of those games, the West Broms, the Bournemouth, Burnleys, all these sorts of teams where we've dropped points where we should have had 100% run. I mean, these aren't the games that decided the games against Arsenal. Arsenal away, that's a very tough game. Realistically, you're hoping to get a point there. But the other games, those games I mentioned earlier, those are the things that have done the damage this season. So it's Jose Mourinho's first season in charge. This isn't even his United side, really. It's not got his full, Mr. Bean Portuguese Jose Mourinho stamp approved on it yet. He doesn't have... he hasn't had enough windows, enough time to get these players in. So he's effectively managing a horrible hybrid mishmash of like a David Moyes and a Louis van Gaal side, which is just disgusting, with a few leftover remnants of Alex Ferguson just carrying the rest of them. That's basically what's happening at United at the moment. So I don't think he's done a bad job. He's come in, he's steadied the ship. He's made United exciting at times anyway. Some games it's been Louis van Gaal-esque, but it's hard to forget those days and get it out of the players. But certainly Jose Mourinho has improved the way United play. He's improved our sort of position in terms of now we're really challenging. He's won us a trophy early on in the season. We had a trophy, the first trophy available, the League Cup. And we are looking likely to be in the Europa League final. We won the Community Shield. We're challenging for top 4 still, even now, even after all the mares that we've had along the way. So he's actually done a pretty decent job. I'm not going to blame Jose. I think Jose is one of the 2 or 3 best managers in the world. Look at his record. It's pretty much the best out there. He's an unbelievable talent. So we want to keep a man like that at United for at least his period of his contract there. See what he can do. See where he can take United. You don't make silly, rash decisions, as some people, whenever United lose, say, get rid of Jose. I gave Moisey a fair chance. I gave Louis van Gaal a fair chance. But I'm prepared to give Jose Mourinho much more of a chance because he's already showed in the shorter time that he's had than those 2 melters that he's a better man for the job, and he is taking United to where they should be. So there we go. Jose Mourinho should hopefully get United to where we are next season, challenging for everything. Got to win the Europa League. This is a big old kick in the bollocks from the Gooners today. They'll be over the moon with this result. Gives them an outside opportunity to be getting back into those top 4 positions as well. Unlikely, but it could happen. I don't even know what the state of the table is looking like at the moment with games in hand and teams bottling it left, right and centre. So I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen. Man, check that out with the shadow. I look like Two-Face, Harvey Dent. Anyway, get your comments in quickly. I'm just going to do a short Q&A, but that's pretty much my thoughts on the shit game and result against Arsenal today. There we go. They've won the game. Fair play to you, Gooners. Congratulations. United need to win and get top 4. United Forever says United have not scored from open play in more than 400 minutes. Awful. Is that true, is it? That's absolutely insane if that's true. Is that in the Premier League? Yeah, you might be right. I don't know. I'm way too... my brain's way too frazzled to even contemplate that. But if that's true, that's pretty piss poor, Buster Cherry, nice name, says Mourinho has a hard-on when he draws. Well, he does seem to favour a draw, but unfortunately we've not drawn even in this game against Arsenal today. We've lost. So he definitely doesn't favour losses. I think he's the sort of manager in a lot of occasions, a lot of situations, he will take a draw and, just hopefully make up the points elsewhere. But today we needed a draw at the very least, I'd say, and we weren't able to do that. We just bottled it big time. So very disappointed with everything today, including the manager. The reaction we had, we could have done better out there. We just weren't up to it today. There we go. It's a transitional period for United. It's a rebuilding process. Yes, we spent a shitload of money. Pogba, 89 mil, ridiculous amounts. not even just him, Mkhitaryan, all these other players over the last couple of seasons, and we're still not right up there. But I believe with Jose in charge, give him a bit of time, and he will indeed do that. Jay Harrod says, calm down, we're going for the Europa League. Yeah, I mean, we need to win the Europa League. That's our main priority now. As long as we win that, then who really gives a shit? Even if we finish like 7th in the league, who cares? As long as we've got Champions League football next season, that is what is all that counts. Another comment here from Ali Rashidi says, Henry Twattenham end up with nothing again. I'm thinking you're talking about Henry Hotspur there, saying Henry Twattenham. Yeah, of course, they lost against West Ham. Absolutely over the moon about that. I've got a 50 quid bet on with him with who finishes higher this season. Oh, shit, I've just realised. I think that's pretty much lost me the bet now because we were like 9 points behind and we had a game in hand and now we've bottled it. There's a free game. Oh, for fuck's sake, I've just lost that bet, I think. So that's a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Temp says, don't worry, Mr. Flying Pig. They will watch us in the Champions League next season and watching us win Europa. I hope you're right. And of course, if you win the Europa League, as you say, you're in the Champions League. You're also in the UEFA Super Cup, where you play the winners of the Champions League. And if we win that, that could be another trophy for Jose Mourinho. So that's pretty awesome. And then I think the team that wins that qualifies for the Club World Cup Championship. So that could be another trophy for Mourinho. I think that's the case anyway. There's a lot of trophies on the horizon. As long as we do win the Europa, Jose's done a really good job this season, put us in a really good position. He'll have that transfer window in the summer. He'll have a war chest to go out there and spend a couple of £100 million probably, including, getting rid of players as well and using the money from that. So I think it's going to be a positive season for United next season. We've just got to get there. So we've just got to win the Europa League. It's a kick in the bollocks today against Arsenal. But they are a good side, aren't they, on the day? But I don't think they really deserved to win the game 2-0. But there you go, shit performance from United. Let me know what you guys think about it. Sam Page says, hey, can I get a shout out for my friend who just lost his leg in a car crash? His name's Rico Taylor. If that's legitimate, Sam Page, sorry to hear about your friend Rico. Keep your head up, pal. Still plenty of stuff to look forward to. I know you're probably going through a horrendous time. But anyway, all the best to you, pal. Let's go on to let's go on to Mujib Ahmed, who says salty, probably a dirty gooner who's come in this chat room here commenting. I am a bit salty, yeah, a little bit salty. Thought that Manchester United did a good performance in the first half and could have got on and beaten those absolute bunch of bottle jobs Arsenal, but we couldn't do it today. They've beaten us. Fair play to them, Daniel Webb says, Europa League, amazing tournament. Wow, so amazing. Prepared to get knocked out in the Champions League group stage. Fuck off, Daniel. Anyway, no, thank you very much for your comments. I'm pretty much going to wrap it up there, but thank you so much for tuning in. Not feeling too great now today. Wasn't feeling great before the game anyway, a little bit rough. And now I'm feeling absolutely gash-tastic because even though the Liverpool scummers have totally bottled it and, earlier, Manchester United, we've gone one better. Yet Ryan Kirkpatrick, the Liverpool fan who comments on these videos all the time. Hi, Ryan. He says, always entertaining to see United out-bottle us. Oh, we have out-bottled you today as well. It's disgusting. Pump University in the house. My brother's channel. Check out his YouTube channel. Type in Pump University and subscribe to him. He comments and says, Europa League more important. At this stage it is because it's still, earlier on in the day anyway, without Liverpool bottling it, it wasn't in our hands to get top four. So Europa League, the emphasis was on that. You could see by the selection, I think, from Jose. But yeah, the emphasis is 100% on the Europa League. If we win that, we're in the Champions League and we've got a trophy. That would be 2 trophies or 3 trophies if you count the community for Jose in his first season in charge. And it would be Champions League qualification for next year, which is exactly what we want. 100% what we want. So totally agree with you. Thanks for the comment to my brother in America there, who's coming over to England in a few weeks, actually. Looking forward to seeing my brother and his family. And he's going to get involved in a couple of videos on the channel here. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But I'm going to leave it there anyway. United have bottled it against Arsenal today. I'm not feeling too terrible about it because I don't think much changes. We still just got to win the Europa fucking League. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Do me a massive favour, if you can, chuck a like and subscribe if you're not subscribed to this video. Chuck a like on this video, subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. And also, please give it a share if you can do it. It'd be much appreciated. You can follow me on social media Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all that good stuff at Mr. Flying Pig HD. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's a shit day for United, but we've got to soldier on and win that Europa League. Got to get that second leg done against Celta Vigo and then beat Ajax, who it's looking likely to be in the final. And then it's a season... it's a season that's been pretty decent for Jose, and just let's get this season over and done with. I hate this season. Get it out of the way. Next season's going to be better. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you very soon. This is The Pig on Flying Pig United, where we talk about all things football, all things United, all things pigs. I'll be seeing you soon. Take it easy and have yourself a good one. And fuck you, Arsenal.